Hello, One Stars. The second quarter of 2022 has come to an end, and we've got some updates on our advocacy in Africa to share with you. For the Jobs Now Africa campaign, we focused on market activation, which is to create opportunities for country-specific engagement and citizens to join the campaign by taking action on the jobsnowafrica.org website. The launch in Senegal featured the Grand Jobs Debate, which examined whose responsibility it is to create decent jobs for young people in Senegal. It brought together partners and government officials, as well as our newly inducted 25 Francophone Africa champions. Senegalese officials gave overwhelming support for the campaign as a timely intervention to keep the agenda fresh in government policy. In South Africa, we worked with Youth Capital to remove policy barriers to job creation and youth employment by supporting the development and launching of a documentary in which we featured Paul Ducey as a narrator. The documentary on youth unemployment has been launched and is being circulated on all social media channels of partners, with the Jobs Charter as a central feature for policy engagement. In Kenya, the launch event drew participants from diverse groups, while the Director for Social Policy and Strategy in the President's Office, Elizabeth Kimulu, was the chief guest. She emphasized that the Jobs Now Africa campaign aligns with the Kenya Youth Manifesto, published in June 2022, which calls on the government to facilitate the creation of at least 1.5 million employment opportunities annually for youth. Using our digital platforms, we hosted 2 Twitter spaces focused on jobs, entrepreneurship, and the future of work. These conversations significantly increased engagement on the One Africa Twitter handle, and both sessions attracted more than 1,500 participants. As governments across the world loosened restrictions, fewer people have been engaging with COVID-19 related content. However, our creative vaccine advocacy, #MythOrVaxChallenge, has now reached 104 million people globally, and we've added 6,000 new TikTok followers for one. With the content team, we supported the creation of informative videos on the reality of vaccine hesitancy in Africa and a call to action to prepare for future pandemics. Distributed by NowThis, the content has gained tremendous traction on all of our social media channels. We also engaged with the South African Council of Churches to get Christian faith leaders to support informative videos to refute vaccine skepticism and encourage vaccination. These will be published in the coming days. On the economic recovery front, we worked with the policy team to engage with African finance ministers meeting in Dakar, Senegal for COP22. The Francophone Africa team led our engagement with focused asks calling for SDRs recycling, reworking of the international financial architecture, responding to climate change impacts, and debt relief measures. We hosted key side meetings, published an open letter signed by more than 20 organizations, and took the floor at the event to push for our asks. The final ministerial statement included most of our team's recommendations, and we got the opportunity from OSF to debrief other African CSOs on the next strategy for engagement on these issues in the coming weeks. In May and June, we inducted 60 new champions from Nigeria, 25 from Senegal and Mali, and 30 from Kenya and Ethiopia. The inductions featured the participation of key parliamentarians and deep engagement on the legislative processes in Nigeria, Kenya, and Senegal. Champions also engaged with talent, experts, and advocacy giants to prepare them for the task of holding policymakers accountable. Our activists were engaged throughout the quarter as they debated climate change, the pandemic, food security, and economic recovery during the Generaction Summit in June. Lastly, this quarter, the Nigeria team and Health Coalition partners are launching a flagship report ranking the state of primary healthcare service delivery in Nigeria and starting the Vote Your Future campaign to persuade citizens to vote on health and job creation. We will double down on citizens' mobilization for jobs, responding more vigorously to food security challenges, and raising voices on the impact of escalating food, fuel, and fertilizer prices. That's it for this quarter's Advocacy in Africa update.